everybody? We are back. This is the biggest week that we've had so far in our short podcasting career. We're talking about Revolution and all the things that led up to Revolution. It was a great pay-per-view last night. Sorry we're coming in at you late, but we all have lives and jobs other than this. So we have to work on that. But we're going to do a quick review of everything, and then we're going to do a quick review of Rampage and Dynamite. Tammy and I were at Dynamite, and it was very cool. And then we're going to go from there. But it looks like Chris has got a quick review. He's going to show us a quick video of the review of Dark.
Well, before we get into that, did you guys enjoy your AEW outings this week? Was that fun?
Dude, it was great.
Fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. So
right on.
Best live ones, I think. For some reason, why do we love it so much?
I don't. Well, Elevation was really good, which is going to air tonight. It was a really good Elevation.
Okay. We don't. Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about.
We can't talk about that one because I haven't seen it yet. America hasn't seen it yet. I'm assuming other parts of the world.
And the Dynamite though, everybody's seen Dynamite though, because that was live.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a really good show to be there live for. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Now you guys weren't there for Rampage, right? Rampage was live in Orlando where they did the other stuff.
Yeah, that's correct.
They had a whole big Orlando weekend where they did Rampage, they did Fan Fest on Saturday, and then they did,
which looked amazing.
Yeah,
yes, I know. A bunch of my friends were there. They met all our faves and did all kinds of fun stuff. So let's think about that for next year. Maybe we can plan ahead. That would be a good time for an Orlando family vacation, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Believe me, I have so many things to say about that. It doesn't matter. What matters, right? Did you guys happen to see when -1 got the limited edition packaged figures of him and Brody?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so badass, man. Yeah. I cried watching it. I was like, this is the coolest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
So cool, man. So
it
cool.
Was. It's great.
I love that they take care of each other and their families. That's something I really like.
The fact that somebody had to reach out and tell this company, hey, I know you're doing all our figures, but we want -1. We want this. We want that. Like, that's just, it's extra next level. What a company, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We love them. And also, I just want to shout out my shirt. This is AEW shirts, my first time wearing it. And 20% of the proceeds of this shirt goes to a organization that I still am a part of. I go back and speak, but also was a big part of our life. We've worked together with them. They've done a lot for us, and they support LGBTQ youth here in Jacksonville, and they're fantastic. And so, of course, that I love that AEW is donating money to them. How cool is that? So
I've actually tried to buy that shirt twice, and they never have my size when I go to order.
Well, that means it's popular. So that's great for Jasmine.
Yep. Yeah. I was about to say you have to mention the organization's Jasmine here in Jacksonville. So, and it's a great place. So, absolutely. Yep. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it was very exciting to be there. Of course, we got there for the big announcement of Ring of Honor. And then we got to see, the cool match. And then, I mean, obviously, my favorite part was the MJF. Hold on. But let's go ahead.
Don't get too far into that stuff.
All right. I'm not going
to. Dark and Elevation this week were great. I am kind of under the understanding that you guys missed most of it. So I made a quick review. We'll check it out. And then we'll move on and we can talk about Dynamite. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to share this here and we will go right in. All right, you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
We're doing something a little bit different this week here on the All Elite Market Theater podcast. I am going to try to give you a quick recap and review of AEW Dark Elevation and AEW Dark. We had a really good week on Dark and Elevation this week.
No sound.
Oh, unmute.
Type of match where you have a newer guy and a veteran that put on.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah. Start over again. Sorry about that.
All right, I'm going to start it over.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Sounded great over here. All right, ready?
Yep.
Here. We're doing something a little bit different this week here on the All Elite Market Theater podcast. I am going to try to give you a quick recap and review of AEW Dark Elevation and AEW Dark. We had a really good week on Dark and Elevation this week. I'm going to keep it brief for you, though, and I'm going to highlight anything that I think might be interesting. Now, the first match we had on Dark Elevation was Jordan Joel versus Jay Lethal. This was an excellent match. This is the type of match where you have a newer guy and a veteran that put on an absolute show. We got a little bit of Ric Flair. We got a little bit of Macho Man. We got a little bit of just Jay Lethal being Jay Lethal. Jora Joel constantly impresses me week after week. The guy can't do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. If you're a casual fan of professional wrestling, or if you're a hardcore fan of professional wrestling, this match was a great way to start the show. Moving on to the second match of the night, we had Sky Blue versus Red Velvet. This match was okay. What we did have here was a decent match that sort of built into the match coming up at Revolution with Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander. This sort of tied into that because we had a visit from Layla Hirsch at ringside. She gave a distraction for Red Velvet. Unfortunately for her, it didn't go as she planned. Red Velvet was still able to walk away with the win, and Sky Blue took a loss this week. Our next match on the card was Alan Angel versus Frankie Kazarian. And this was another great example of a match that if you are a casual wrestling fan and you just hit this by accident, you'd be hooked watching it. Absolutely fantastic as far as what I would expect in a match on a show like this. Frankie Kazarian, absolutely a seasoned vet. And Alan Angel's impressive week after week. This was a good match to tune into. Unfortunately, Alan Angels had to tap out in this one. Frankie Kazarian is a submission machine. The next match we had was a trios match. LMK, Kayla Sparks, and Paris Van Dale versus Nyla Rose, Diamante, and Emi Sakura. Any match that these women are a part of is just explosive and entertaining and fun to watch. This was no exception. It was another masterclass from three pros. We're looking at heel work that is perfect heel work. There was crowd interaction. There was a lot of sneaky stuff happening. It was really entertaining, and I would definitely go back and watch this again if you haven't already. Following this up, we had a match between Fuego del Sol and Lance Archer. Now, obviously, Archer took away the win on this one, but I will say this.
You guys.
Absolute supreme troll. He messed with the crowd through this entire thing. It was incredibly entertaining to watch him throwing around Fuego. Fuego took this beating like a champ. So this one was a fun one if you're interested. Following that up, we had Willow Nightingale versus Layla Hirsch. This was Layla Hirsch's second appearance on this show. Obviously, she interfered in the Red Velvet match previously, but in this match, she took on a much larger opponent and was able to walk away with a victory here. She actually looked very impressive. Willow Nightingale is constantly impressive. This was no exception. I think anybody that likes women's wrestling is going to find something to enjoy in this match. The final match of the evening on AEW Dark Elevation was Chaos Project versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. Dark Order took away the win on this one, but it was fantastic watching Chaos Project. Serpentico is getting more and more entertaining by the week. This was certainly a fun match to tie off the evening. That was it for Elevation this week, and then we move on to Dark. Our first match of the evening was Lee Johnson versus Darion Bankston. This guy, Darion Bankston, has a really cool look, very talented guy, and he definitely fits in with the AEW undercard right now. I think he would be a great addition to both of these shows weekly if they could get him on there for him. At the end of the day, Lee Johnson won this. There's no plan with Big Shotty. It is what it is. All respect to Darion Bankston for putting on a hell of a show. The second match following this up was Ashton Starr versus Sunny Kiss. Ashton Starr is another one that I haven't seen before. I'm not too familiar with, but fit in great with these AEW Dark shows. We love Sunny Kiss here on the All Elite Murder Theater podcast. This is a great reason why this match was fantastic. It wasn't very long, but we got a little bit of the best of both of these performers. It's definitely worth watching. Now, the third match of the evening was the Acclaimed versus a tag team by the name of B-Jack and Donovan Isolino. Now, the Acclaimed took away the win on this one, and it was more of a squash match. Really, we had the Acclaimed come out, they did their rap, and the other two guys, they didn't really seem to know what was going on. The best part about this match, I think, was the commentary. We had some excellent commentary from Taz on here, and for both of these shows, really. On Elevation, we had Mark Henry and Paul White with Tony Schiavone. Very funny, entertaining stuff. Color commentary was great this week. Taz and Excalibur killed this show as well. With the Acclaimed victory, we moved into Danielle Camelo versus Marina Shafir. I was very excited to see Marina Shafir back this week. She is always awesome, very powerful, very impressive. Danielle Camelo, though, really gave her a run for her money here. She put on a great show as well. If you're into women's wrestling, this is another one to take a look at. Next, we moved on to Dante Martin versus Jack Evans. I haven't seen Jack Evans on AEW television for a while. This is the second member of TH2 and along with Angelico. So it was good to see Jack Evans back on TV. Dante Martin and Jack Evans are both very high-flying, modern professional wrestlers. So this was a very entertaining match. Lots of crazy spots, lots of flippy stuff. Dante
Bananas.
Away with the victory on this one. That moved us on to the next segment, which was a Wingman segment. They kind of got into talking about trend and fashion. Very entertaining.
So good.
if you like the wingmen, if you like these characters. From that, we moved into a match between Abaddon and Sahara 7. Unfortunately, anybody who's going to go up against Abaddon is definitely taking a loss, and that is exactly what we saw here. Abaddon had a very decisive victory in this. Sahara 7 is quite a character. From this, we moved into another women's match. This was Diamante versus Viperous. This is Diamante's second time on the Dark shows this week. This match was very entertaining. But it was a squash. Diamante basically destroyed Viperous and walked away with the victory here. Well deserved, I would say. Diamante, I think, is underrated in the AEW women's division right now, and I'm hoping they're going to start using her more because some of these programs are getting a little tired on the main shows. Moving on from that, we had Kelsey Reagan versus Kiera Hogan. This was an okay match. It was short. I wouldn't go back to rewatch it, though. There was nothing in this that really got me to pay attention. Once that match was over, we moved on to Daniel Garcia versus Josh Woods. Now, everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of Daniel Garcia. However, I do see improvement week after week. Kid is a professional. He knows his stuff. There's just something missing there. I don't know what it is. This match was okay. It was interesting enough to sit through, but I'm still not a Garcia fan. Moving on from that, we had Will Austin versus Captain Sean Dean. Sean Dean every week impresses me. Love when he's on TV. Will Austin was also impressive. I'm not familiar with Will Austin, but this was a good first impression for me. Of course, though, Sean Dean won, and it was a good match overall. Finally, our main event for the evening was Orange Cassidy with Wheeler Yuda versus Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado. This was a very interesting match, as you would expect from an Orange Cassidy match. We had lots of fun spots, lots of weird stuff, lots of comedy. You know, Orange Cassidy just gets better and better week after week. Yuda and Cassidy walked away with the victory here, which I don't think anybody would be surprised by. That's how we closed out AEW Dark this week. If you're not watching Elevation, if you're not watching Dark, you need to start. You're missing out on some really good wrestling.
Dude, that was excellent.
That was so good. We need to do that all the time.
I've got some ideas for that, so we'll talk about that when we're off the air.
Thanks for making us
Yeah,
so straight.
So honestly, if I ever do that again, I need more than a morning idea to do it, because that shit took me like 3 hours just to put that together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could do much better if I have a couple days. There would have been like video clips and stuff in there too. I was actually really bummed out at how much I wasn't able to do with it. But yeah, Dark and Elevation were rad this week. People listening, people watching. If you don't watch Dark and Elevation yet, I don't know what the fuck you're sleeping on. Get on board. It's good shit. The shows are great. And it gives you extra wrestling during the week. You can't complain about that.
Absolutely not. I love it. I mean, I always enjoy watching those matches. I always like to see the up and coming people. I always like to see how people can get tested and get better. And it's excellent. It rocks.
Yeah.
All right. So perfect. That was a great segment, Chris. Thank you. All right. So let's move on. Let's get on to the Dynamite. Or you want to touch briefly on Dynamite? We really need to kind of get into the Revolution at this point. But you know what?
So there was a couple things that happened on Dynamite I think we need to discuss before we can even move into the pay-per-views.
Sure.
And Rampage too. I mean, but like, first of all,
Ring of Honor.
Tony Khan bought fucking Ring of Honor, you guys.
Half my theory.
This is unreal. This is unprecedented. This is like when you know who from the other company bought WCW back in the day and everything changed.
Right.
So from what I understand, he's acquired the entire catalog. Mm-hmm. There's now a possible streaming deal in the works, mm-hmm. which is going to tie in with all this. They're talking to HBO Max for AEW streaming service. So there's big things on the horizon with this, along with the talent that's happening right now. We've already seen a lot of stuff changing. What do you guys think about this? I'm excited because I love Ring of Honor and I have for, the better part of 2 decades. But for newer fans, for people who haven't been paying attention all these years, what do you guys think?
Well, we're not 100% familiar with Ring of Honor. I know that there's a lot of the stars came out of that. I think that
Jay Lethal is one of them.
Jay Lethal and a couple others that came out of Ring of Honor. I think it's cool that we can go see the back catalog of some of the CM Punk stuff and the Adam Cole stuff. And so I think that's very exciting to be able to, go catch some of that older stuff. It's great for Tony Khan. He's going to make a mint off of this stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
great financial move.
Streaming and licensing alone is going to be great for him. I think it's great because we've got an opportunity, and I was talking to Tammy about this, when we weren't on the air. this gives them a great opportunity to showcase more of the really talented people that don't always get all of the spotlight that's on Dynamite or Rampage. Because I mean, obviously you're limited. I mean, we got 2 hours. Basically, you're limited to 3 hours to get that entire AEW roster on there. And now that we can bounce back and forth with Ring of Honor and AEW, you're looking at way, way more opportunities for these people that are excellent wrestlers that should be on TV almost all the time to get on TV more. And so
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about it, and I'm happy. And I mean, I think that this is, as far as looking at that as a business perspective, it's a great business move, and it's what you want to do as a business person in this type of industry. So, Tammy, how do you feel?
Well,
Tammy, you have to have some vindication about this, right? I mean, this was your idea, really.
I know you came up. I mean, you called it.
Part of it, I'm taking 50% credit, because the only part of it, the other part was that Cody Rhodes would be involved. So we have to wait and see on that.
Right.
So, but I am new to wrestling, less than a year, and the way that I found out about Ring of Honor is through listening to the Young Bucks by autobiography. So I kind of understand how cool it was just about their stories about being involved in it. So, but that's my only experience. So that's all I know is the stories that I've heard from the Young Bucks about Ring of Honor. So I did know what it was. And again, just like Rafe said, like they're getting all this talent. It seems like somebody's announced All Elite every other day. So at least I don't know, what the believer will be, but at least there'll be more opportunities if there's more than one company, because then it just sounds like a WWE thing to collect all these people and not give them opportunities and just kind of shelf them. And that would be a shame if that happened. So this gives it an opportunity not to happen, and that they can really hone. And they have a lot of like older trainers and talent and people that have been in the business, that they'll be able to create amazing people out of Ring of Honor to go to AEW as well. So I don't know a lot, so I'm going to wait and see, but I'll just be excited for the not knowing of what to expect. Sometimes it's good not to have an expectation. And I don't know the history of CM Punk all the time, so I know we haven't got to it yet, but it sounds like his intro music and style this time around had to do with his days in Ring of Honor, is what I got from the commentary, and I loved that. So I thought that was cool, because anyways, we'll talk about when we get there. So I'm just saying, if that's the kind of vibe we'll be seeing, I like it. So that's it.
Nice.
So here's what I will say. A brief thing about Ring of Honor. This company has created many of the stars in modern wrestling today, not just in AEW, but in other companies as well. A lot of them got their start in Ring of Honor, and a lot of my favorite wrestlers right now started in Ring of Honor, and some of them started under other names, what have you. But really, the style that we love today was made popular in Ring of Honor. And people would argue that it's Impact and maybe PWG and a couple other things. And there's various promotions that have done this style for a while, but Ring of Honor was really the first one that had big names and small names, and they all wanted the same thing. It was about the love of professional wrestling. Like, this is where I think AEW was actually born, was in Ring of Honor. You guys, I don't know if you know this, Cody was there, the Bucks were there, obviously. There's like, everybody was there at some point that we love today. So the fact that they're able to acquire this catalog, and also what their current talent is, which I don't know how that worked. They shuttered their doors back in November, December, saying they were going to revitalize the brand and come out with something new in the spring. And here we are. Now AEW owns everything. I don't know what that means for the future of the brand. I don't know what that means for the future of what is Ring of Honor. Is there going to be a TV deal for Ring of Honor? Is it going to have its own show every week? I really hope that it does. And I do hope that it becomes kind of this developmental brand. I think that'd be really good for business. And honestly, nobody else could run this other than Tony Khan. If somebody else had gotten their hands on this, it would have just disappeared probably. So thank goodness for Tony Khan. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's exciting, man. And it's exciting stuff, man. So it's going to be killer. I mean, no matter what. So, yeah. So there it is, you know. And,
I'm excited. I think
yeah. So go ahead, Chris. Keep rolling, man. We're gonna let you run this show here.
Well, I mean, in the Ring of Honor trend, we went right into Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels. You guys were there live. What was that like? Because that was a crazy match. I mean, we're talking a clinic. This was professional wrestling, top tier.
Well, I can say this: the minute he came out, the place exploded. I mean, there was a lot of cheers for, and the wrestling was great, and more people were cheering for him than they were for Danielson. And
I mean, I haven't seen him since the Bucks fucked his eye up. You guys, his eye is still a mess from this.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible. I mean, it looks like evil. And so, but yeah, man. I mean, Christopher Daniels put on a show. You know, we got to see, everybody in that audience was they were more psyched about seeing him than they were about, Bryan Danielson. And usually it's like the Bryan Danielson show.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in Jackson.
It was kind of close, but they were definitely very happy.
They were very happy. They were leaning towards it. And there was just such a great amount of energy when they were wrestling. So it was a great match. It was a very good match, especially to start.
I was happy to see Christopher Daniels again, just because when the whole injury thing happened and everything, we all kind of thought he retired. Like it was sort of like an angle, but not an angle.
Right.
Like it was, oh, well, I guess I'm done with this business. I can't do this anymore. I'm not where I used to be. And the fact that he came out and put on this beautiful match with Bryan Danielson, one of the best in the world. I think Christopher Daniels deserves way more respect than he's ever gotten in the business. And it was nice to see him get a little attention, a little bit of love on this one. And, I'm glad the match ended the way it did. We had Mox come out. How was that?
Mox came right by us.
Close. Yeah, we were close. He came in our section. If I had only been on the outside, on the opposite side, it would have been good. I always try to get a side seat. Yeah.
Boy, you guys always seem to get right in that area too.
Right.
Yeah. I loved it. So yeah, we're always really close to them when they come out from the crowd and stuff. So that was cool. And that I didn't know anything about who Christopher Daniels was, but it was like so sweet. I don't know, like you definitely felt the love, and it was kind of cool to have the Ring of Honor announcement at the same time. And I guess he was a big part of that, is what I was gathering, and a respected person. And he took his loss well. And when he was leaving, everybody gave him extra cheers. So it was like he really didn't lose, because I think he just got a lot more love, you could tell, than he expected. And he was just happy to be there. So it was like a very fun, happy moment. And by the way, after Bryan Danielson choked out Garcia, he's now my BFF.
I'm glad you're on board. I
just wanted you to know that there is a news update on this, and that was all it took, because he's the only one that was vicious.
Yeah,
enough against Garcia. Everyone else barely made it when they should have been like mean, and cruel, and so now we're BFFs. So I wanted everyone to be like, know this new information.
I really enjoyed the loose ends at the end of this match too, when after Mox came out and everything, and he did the whole thing, and then Bryan Danielson kind of squared up for a second, then right under the ring rope, he's got it. That was so good. It was a beautiful move. It added so much to the dynamic of this thing.
Yeah.
Rafe, what were your thoughts?
Well, as far as this match or Mox coming out,
as far as the match, the post-match angle, Christopher Daniels, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Christopher Daniels, like, I knew that. I've read a couple articles on Christopher Daniels basically saying that he was going to just do more of a backstage role. He was going to work with talent a little bit more, and that he really wasn't into it. So when he came out, I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. And then seeing him wrestle and put the moves on that he has was super impressive. And of course, I always like the dynamic between Mox and Danielson. And of course, that culminates in Revolution, which, is going to be totally cool. And, Mox, I don't think anybody really has any idea. I personally think that Moxley is more popular than CM Punk in AEW. I just think so. I just think every time he comes out, man, people just go crazy. And I mean, they like CM Punk, but I really think that Mox is like he is almost. I won't say that he's okay. I take that back. He's not more popular than Punk, but Moxley is getting to that level.
Or maybe they're about equal.
I'll say they're around even. I mean, Moxley was the first guy that defected from the other company.
Right.
He was the first one to come over and cause a big buzz and cause a big stir. He created so much momentum for AEW early on. And I think the fans know that, and I think they appreciate it. Because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to come in and just fucking make AEW 20 times more awesome than it could have been.
Right.
He could have just collected a paycheck and half-assed it and called it in, but he didn't. And I think he'll be forever appreciated for that. And I think he might be the first 2-time world champion, but that might be getting ahead of myself.
I hope so.
Well, I'm just saying every damn time we have seen him walk into a live situation like that, people go nuts. They just
he's so over, man. He's so over.
He is so over.
They really just love him, and he's just so entertaining, and he's like. And so I don't see why he wouldn't be the superstars in AEW, man. So
he was the champion before our time.
Of course.
And he will be again. Mark my words, he will be again. And I don't even think that'll be that long from now. It might be before the end of this year.
Oh, yeah. So then
we moved into Sting and Darby Allin discussing the trios match at Revolution. Did you guys see that segment while you were there?
Yeah, they showed it, but a lot of the times you can't really hear it too well.
Can't hear it and stuff.
Very well, yeah.
So basically, Stinger was like, we've got a lot of stipulations. There's going to be heavy fines, indefinite suspensions. Nobody can interfere with this match. So it kind of set the precedent for what we were going to see. Right. And that was really it. It was short and sweet. It was kind of threatening. It was dope, but there wasn't much else.
Yep.
And then the fucking casino tag match. That
was first of all, it was chaos. Now, if not having commentary over the top of that, you just don't know what the fuck is going on.
I had commentary and I still didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was so crazy.
Yeah, it was so crazy, but it was so cool to see Darius come out. And Top Flight, because
was that like his real return? I don't think we've seen him in a long time.
No, he had a knee issue.
He's been injured.
He's been injured. Yeah. That was his first shot out, and
they look great.
Oh, they were. Oh, dude, they were on fire, and even more on fire live. So but it was just like I didn't, with no commentary, no guidance and direction of what's going on. You didn't know what was going on. There was some shit going on with FTR over in the corner. And me and Tammy are like, isn't he out? He should be out at this point. And I'm like, oh no, he's got to go over the top rope. And then he's like sliding in and out. And Tammy and I were just like, what the holy shit? And we didn't know what to watch.
I didn't have that problem.
I don't know if you guys watched any of this back on TV, but it was the same watching it on TV. It was just as hard to keep up because there was so much chaos. It was like, you had everything going on in the ring. Then there was another team that came in. Then there was some other stuff, and then another team came in. You couldn't keep track of who was eliminated and who wasn't. And it was even more difficult thinking, okay, is it an entire team that gets eliminated, or is it just that person? Because I feel like there was some weirdness between that, whether or not everybody was getting out or if they weren't. But then I realized I think both people have to be eliminated. Is that wrong?
No, they have to.
No, they both had to, yes.
So that's what's crazy about the rules for a tag team match of this size and this caliber is the fact you have to eliminate both guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking work when you have 15 different teams.
Right.
That's 30 people.
There was 30 people in there, man. It was ridiculous.
They weren't all necessarily in there at the same time. I have to say, though, it's more chaotic to watch it on television. And I'm not with Rafe on the same opinion that it's all chaos the whole time, because once you're there, you can kind of get a better sense of what's going on. All the things you just said, I had to process through in the first 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And then once I understood what was going on, you could kind of be like, okay, that person's in the corner. You could kind of see who was giving who more trouble. So I feel like in person, I love it. I love the chaos of it. I can see what's going on. I'm able to follow more what's going on, but I'm not watching it on television. On television, I would have just tuned it out, you know?
That makes so much sense that you would be able to relate to it in a different way, Tammy. I don't know why, but the fact that you were able to take those few moments, grasp it, and then go with it and not get lost, that makes sense for you.
It does. For me, I'm like
ADHD. I don't know.
I was like out the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
I was like, who's doing what? Is who in? Is Silver out? Is here comes Bear Country? Holy shit! What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
well, that was cool that you did. I didn't know how many were coming out and when it would stop. So that was kind of cool. And that was the coolest part, I think, actually,
Yeah.
because you were so excited about all of a sudden you got to get everybody. You got to see a lot more people than you'd see in a normal night because they all got in that match. And you got to see a lot of your favorites. All of a sudden you'd hear the ring of their music and then you know who was coming out because they didn't tell you and we didn't know.
Yeah. And this was, I mean, I don't think they pre-announced most of this. Most of it was surprises. And watching all these teams come in like this, it was very, standard Rumble style, but we're talking about tag teams. So every, what was it, minute and a half, something like that, they were bringing in another team and so much shit was happening in between and not enough people were eliminated. I personally couldn't figure out what the hell was going on until about the last couple of minutes of this match when they finally got rid of a lot of people and there was only a couple teams left.
yeah.
I kept my eyes on FTR most of the time. They were the ones
I thought they might go.
Yeah. They lasted for a long time and they felt like they were very strategic about who they were trying to pick off. So that's what you started to click in on, is watching who was surrounding who was focusing more on who, and who was just there for their momentary entertainment until they went over, But FTR, I was like, FTR was like really in there, like for the whole. I think FTR was one of the first to come in, weren't they?
Yeah, they were
That's
pretty much
horses.
Yeah, they were, and they were great. But I think that they kept them in there the longest because of the way that they work. And
exactly,
that's what it
like
is.
Chris is always saying, they make everyone else look good. You know?
And they did that again. And they basically, you could see them almost captaining in a sense the ring.
Yeah,
you got that sense once you started watching it and see what they were doing on the outside. Like there's a couple times when Dax was rolling around the outside, kind of like shouting a little bit of instruction here and there to some people and like pointing to some things and doing some things you probably didn't see on camera. But he was down on the side of the ring going, do this, and kind of like showing some direction towards people. And so that was really cool. And it's obvious why they are in AEW because of just their professionalism. So, but it was still fun because it was super fun. I mean, regardless of the chaos, it was fun. I
love it.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. Entertaining as hell. The fact that I didn't know what was going on might have made it more interesting because I was glued trying to like figure out what is happening. It was the entire time my attention was 100% on the TV.
Oh yeah. So, and then of course the Bucks win it, which is cool.
Of course.
I still love watching.
Who else
the Bucks.
was gonna win?
They have.
It had to be the Bucks. It had to be the Red Dragon thing. That was the way it was gonna go. Right. And I felt stupid after, like, damn, I can't believe I thought some of these other teams might go through.
Right.
Because they've been setting up this angle for weeks. So.
Right. But it was very, very cool that they eliminated Darius to get in, which was really awesome because I wasn't expecting that. I figured it was going to be either FTR that was the eliminated that the Bucks would eliminate, or Red Dragon. Was Red Dragon in this one? Yeah, they were. God knows. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. They weren't. I thought that. Yeah. So I thought I didn't expect the Bucks to eliminate Darius and Top Flight. I didn't think Top Flight was going to last that long. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really awesome. And I mean, I think that sets up stuff for Top Flight in the future, which is going to be great because I've never seen them together, but man, they didn't seem like they missed a beat. He didn't seem like he was rusty at all. I mean, he came in and was doing those moves with Dante, and it was killer.
It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
It was.
And considering that all of Dante's storylines have kind of been sort of they've piddled out at this point because Leo Rush, that whole thing happened and all that stuff kind of snowballed into something that wasn't supposed to be. I think the tag team angle is going to be what works best for him right now. We might see some more single stuff from him, but it'll probably be on Dark and Elevation, I think. But moving forward, I mean, we're talking about maybe one of the best tag teams that's up and coming in the business today. Both of them are unreal in that ring.
They are, man. They were great, man. I was like, holy shit. I mean, I never saw him wrestling. I was like, man.
I love it.
I'm like, he's just as badass as his brother. Holy shit. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So I loved it. That was great. All right. So then what was next after this?
The Jericho segment. Did you guys see that?
We did see that. We saw that. Of course, we could only hear, we didn't hear like everything, but Jericho obviously shook Santana Ortiz's hand.
Well, he got a little love at the end of this segment. Yeah. But the takeaway here was the fact that he said, you know, Eddie Kingston's not going to win this thing. And with his ego fully blaring, he said, if he wins, I will congratulate him and shake his hand and tell him great job, et cetera, et cetera. We all know how that turned out, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But then Santana and Ortiz came out, gave him the fist bump, which I thought was weird. I didn't feel like any of that was resolved. And suddenly, oh, are we cool? Like even Jericho was like, what the fuck? Okay, right on. My boys are back. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the Inner Circle right now. I don't know if it's still a thing. Sammy's still gone. I don't know where the hell Jake Hager is, but at least him and Santana and Ortiz are on talking terms, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It was a good segment though. It was short and sweet. And I think it showed Jericho's true character. And I think it showed the biggest difference between him and Kingston. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. And then after that, we got the Punk promo. Boy, that was pretty wicked to see. To see it live. It was. To see Tell that me live. About it. I mean, it was expected but unexpected, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was kind of like when everything came out, when he was doing his speech and he was talking about, you know, wanting to be a good or bad person, we're kind of like, all right, no problem. And then MJF comes in, right? And, you know, gives him the hug and then gives him the low blow. And it was like, that was on. The whole place exploded when that happened. So before you move forward, I have a question. Did either one of you buy MJF with the hug at this point? No, I mean, I knew something was coming. I mean, I just knew it. You know, I wasn't at this point, I wasn't buying it anymore. What angle you weren't sure how long he was going to ride it out? That's I wasn't sure if this was going to maybe carry over to Revolution or he was going to pull something. I'm glad he pulled shit that night that we were there because I mean, it was epic. I mean, that's your boy too. Yeah, I know, man. But this is where I became a huge CM Punk fan too, because his acting is actually elevated. Because when he was leaving the stage, right where we were, the section we were sitting, he had a bloody face and he looked deranged. And he looked right over where we were, and it was hysterical. And he's going. So entertaining. He looked so deranged and bloody. It was just cracking me up. I love the overtop drama. Normally he's so intense all the time, and he takes himself so seriously. So that moment, I was like, okay, he finally gets like this is drama here, and this is entertainment and stuff. To like I got to see a little bit more fun, playful side of him in that way. Even though he was all bloody and looking deranged, it was just to me. I loved it. That was like, that stands out to me from the whole night for some reason. That just little moment right there when he's looking all crazy with blood all over and he's just had the chain thing, which I think the chain stuff is hysterical anyways. So I don't know. I thought it was, and I love the whole handprint of blood across MJF's shirt. You know, I loved this drama, you know, the drama of it all. I celebrate it. When MJF ripped his shirt off and had that picture on underneath, dude, I was crying. I was like, that was so great. So I have to say, when this segment started, immediately, as soon as Punk came out, I was like, why is he wearing white? He never wears white. Ooh. The only time he wears white is if he's wearing his cross-arm CM Punk shirt, which is not that often. Right. And I'm like, I've never seen him in a plain white t-shirt with white shoes. This is weird. And then MJF came out in the white suit, and I was like, oh shit, somebody's bleeding gushers tonight. And sure enough,
Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot.
That thing was like huge. That he got tore open. That was bad.
He was bleeding a lot, to the point where they had to they were holding his head all the way out when they were escorting him out. It was a lot of blood. Now, Tammy still thinks, I don't think it's fake, Tammy. It's not fake.
It depends on where the cut is.
Hold on. Why do you think it's fake, though?
Okay. I've worked with blood before. It's not usually that bright. But
have you never seen a massive head wound like that? Especially if you take a razor blade and cut your head, I guarantee right now.
I have actually. And should I say it? Dark, Rafe. Okay. Right outside the window of where I'm sitting right now, I have. Anyway,
okay.
We won't go there.
Something. I thought you were talking about yourself, that you cut your own head.
No, I've seen blood coming out of heads before.
I got you.
And I'm sorry, everybody listening. Trigger warning.
Let's move on.
I got wild shit happening over there.
Oh, we do. You have no idea. You in Jacksonville.
This is it. It's 50%, 50 is what I'm saying. Is it depends on if you have certain cuts on your head, it can be that bright, yes. But also, they do have other little capsules that they burst that create a lot of blood too. So it's hard to know how much is their own blood and how much is that. Yes, they do. They do.
Not in this case.
Do you believe in the fucking tooth fairy too?
Not in this case.
Here's the thing with the capsules.
I'm not saying what case it is. I'm just saying in general.
They can do the capsules, but the capsules do not continue. Once they're popped, they're done. They give you a certain amount of liquid and you're over. When you have a constant gusher, it's a gusher. It is what it is.
Right.
But they do use the capsules too. So sometimes I'm not always convinced.
In the mouth for sure.
In the mouth, I believe. But that one with CM Punk on Wednesday night when we were there, he was fucking bleeding.
1000% real. He was bleeding like a stuffed pig.
I never asked myself one way or the other.
Okay. Well,
to me, I was just going with assuming it's real while I'm there and going with the story.
Okay.
All right. So we obviously had some more payoff from this whole deal moving on into Revolution, but let's talk about what happened with did you guys see the Keith Lee segment where he had an interview?
I don't
with
remember
Shivani?
it.
We did. We did.
You did. I don't remember.
So it was a quick interview spot. Starks and Hobbs interrupted, and Keith kind of said, if you guys keep fucking with me, there's not going to be anything left to interrupt.
Right.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember.
And then Starks basically said, "Rampage is my territory." Little Starks, he's so funny when he's got a big giant behind him. I thought that was ridiculous, and I thought Keith Lee just the limits. I mean, he doesn't give a shit about anybody, and he shouldn't because he's a bad son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that segment. And then we moved on to the, I guess it was a tag match, right?
It was Brit and Jamie versus Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. Tammy, why don't you give your thoughts on this one?
Tammy, you're big Thunder Rosa. Rafe, you and I both love Jamie Hayter. Tammy, where were you on this match as far as how it played out and where everything went from there?
I don't know. I like everybody. So to me, it was a lot of fun. So it was okay. I thought it ended as it should be. So that Thunder, could go on.
Well, I didn't like the ending.
Why?
Because it didn't make sense with Revolution. I mean, I guess it did now that you look back at it, if I really think about it.
But on that night, without knowing what was going to happen at Revolution, I mean, the match was strong.
It was a strong match.
I like every single one of them except for I'm just getting Mercedes. Like I'm just getting to know Mercedes. I like all of them together, but one half is more like the people that are upright, upstanding, doing things by the book, and the other are cheaters, and the cheating always gets on my nerves. But I really liked Mercedes' energy that night. more than the previous matches I've seen, because she's been kind of new. And so I really liked her energy. I liked everyone's energy, really. I mean, I just thought I was really excited for that match to see everybody.
Yeah, it was a cool match. It was great to watch. It was great to actually hear Jamie Hayter talk her shit because she's funny.
Yeah.
She's funny as hell. I mean, she talks funny shit. And she's always great in the ring. She definitely helps Brit out with those tag matches and kind of elevates Brit a little bit. Also elevates the other people in there because she's just a pro. Mercedes, I'm starting to really like her, man. She's tough as nails and she's strong. So watching her going against a strong Jamie Hayter and was a good battle to watch. And I'm looking forward to more tag team stuff in the future. It definitely sets up the fact that Thunder Rosa can basically beat Brit at will if it's clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
exactly that's what I meant.
Basically tells you that right there. It's like Thunder Rosa can just beat her. And it's going
even if
to
it's
beat
not clean, I think she could beat her.
She could beat her, and we'll get into the Revolution and how I felt about that whole deal. But
that's what's hard about going back to these is knowing what you know after the fact. It kind of bursts the bubble a little. Like when I'm talking about it now, I'm like, at the moment it was really exciting and fun, and we all know like who's who. And then there's always this like cheating system, and we'll get to things later because I really don't like the way things ended up. So I'm a little bummed. So it's too bad, but I like all these people. Like I still love Britt Baker for her sneakiness and for their heelness, like they are fun heels. And Britt is a fun champion.
She is.
Like to me, she's so over the top, egotistical, narcissistic, entertaining. None of us are really like that. So it's kind of like fun to embrace it because it's like, that's why I like these fictional things. And it's because it's not what you would do in your normal everyday life, but I love the elevation of it. Like if I wanted to do like a role or if I wanted to be a wrestler, I would totally be a heel just because it's a fun way to express all that. So when you see somebody like her and the Bucks and Adam Cole, and they're just being over the top narcissist a-holes, but they can do it and they can back their shit up. Like you can't say anything about it. Like it's fun, I don't know why. It's an unexpected thing I like in wrestling that I never thought I would like. I would think I would hate all these people and I'd be like, oh, Britt Baker's so full of herself, fuck her. But that's not how I feel. I feel like this is so fun and she entertains the hell out of me. And then Thunder Rosa deserves it and she's so good and I love her. So it's really hard because I will miss Britt Baker being a champion when somebody finally takes her spot, just because she's so over the top and fun. And I feel like some of the other champions don't have that personality. And I think the personality matters.
Yeah, it does. It makes all the
Kenny
difference
Omega, like his attitude, is what made him fun, even though it's not the dude you really want to hang out with at the party.
Right. Cool. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right. So pressing on. Then we had
I feel like did I answer your question, Chris? Because
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna save my opinions about the whole thing until we get to Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of like just kind of briefing things till we get to Revolution too.
Yeah.
So then I guess the Ty Conte with Schiavone. Okay, we'll talk about that when we get there. But go ahead.
No, hold on.
Okay. All right.
That interview was fantastic, and here's why. Jade Cargill surprised the hell out of me being funny. She walked up in the middle of Ty Conti talking about jiu-jitsu and said, nobody cares about that karate bullshit.
That was funny.
It was the best thing I'd heard all night. Usually Jade Cargill's not that funny. She's just sort of mean. And this was great.
She's getting good.
Awesome. Yeah. And we'll talk about that more too. But I thought that line was fantastic.
Oh yeah. And then we had the promo between Layla Hirsch and Statlander. Those are never good.
They're just bad every week, every time they're on. This whole angle's been terrible.
And then we got to Wardlow comes out with Cesar Bononi. Dude, this was like, I mean, holy shit. Being there watching Wardlow slam him. That fucking dude is huge too.
That guy's huge. It was really
He's
wild.
a big son of a bitch. Yeah.
No, he's big, man.
He's
Yeah.
bigger than Wardlow, almost, isn't he? He might be.
Not like weight wise, but probably a little
He's
bit on
taller
height.
than him. He's
way
much
taller.
taller than him. And just Wardlow was just like picking him up and slamming the piss out of him, dude.
I was like, wow, Cesar really.
I mean,
like, yeah.
and the crowd was going absolutely wild, man. They just loved it. There was this kid next to me, and every time I go to AEW, I always got the best fans. The second time I went, this kid next to me, he was basically in a luchador mask, right? He said he went to Malachi Black's school of wrestling. Like, he was talking to his friend. I overheard him talking, like, going to Malachi's school for wrestling. He goes, yeah. And then he's a little guy, this guy, right? He's just a little dude. And he's wearing a luchador mask the whole fucking night, right? And he's like, yeah, I went there. Malachi Black picked me up and power slammed me. He goes, that was it. I quit. He goes, I'm not wrestling anymore. He goes, I'll just watch it. That's what he said. So then the other night, I got this 14-year-old kid next to me, and he was just adorable, and he was just funny. He knew everything. He knew moves that were coming. He was basically giving me commentary back and forth. We were talking.
Nice.
And it was just, I enjoyed having him next to me because, and dude, when Wardlow came out and started powerbombing, this kid almost jumped out of his fucking shoes. He was so excited. I mean, he really did. He was so jacked up. He's like, Wardlow! He's just punched in the air. It's like, so to see, just how people react to Wardlow, it's his time, man. It's his time.
It really is
his fucking time, and let him run with the ball. It's his time, man. It's time for Wardlow. This is the era of Wardlow.
And what you're talking about right there, to have the teens be that behind somebody, that's how you really know that somebody's over, is when the younger demographics are like, fuck yeah, that's my favorite guy. That's how you know shit has hit the fan, man.
Oh yeah, no, it is. He is, and they got to run with it. And I'm glad Revolution is over and everything's that happened there. Dude, Wardlow's the man. Everybody loves him.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So then that House of Black segment.
Hold on. So we actually had
I'm going to let
seed.
you run it. you go.
We did have a seed planted there. Sean Spears came out to do his little chair shit as usual. And Wardlow was like, not tonight. Like, it was kind of like we're done with that bullshit. This is my match. Get the fuck out of here. And then Spears was kind of like, what? And then he chased him off, So I didn't realize at the time watching that we were so close to what was going to happen.
Right.
So this story, I want to say, I've complained about it for a few weeks. I'm happy that it's finally turning and everything is going now. But they took too fucking long. I'm going to say that.
Yes.
I agree.
We all agree. We've all agreed on this. We've all agreed that this is taking too long.
Well, the rest of the world and Tony Khan needs to agree with us too.
Right. That's true. I mean, we all know this.
We need to take our notes and make sure next time they keep the momentum just at the right pace. But we can't. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. Keep going, buddy.
No, I mean, that was it for that match. I mean, the bit at the end with Spears was fantastic, but then we moved into the House of Black segment. Were you guys able to see that?
Yes, we did.
Video segment. That was so fucking cool, man. So cool.
Everything.
And the shit where it's like they both came in and then it was the other one and they were there, and it's the house always wins, that whole deal. It ties into AEW's whole casino obsession. It tied into everything. It was amazing. I am really, really excited about this lineup of the House of Black right now. What do you guys think?
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm over the moon. They're so metal.
Yeah.
They're 100% fucking metal to the max.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but before there was metal, there was all this symbology that they used before. And so that's what I like about them. It's like, it's not just like, I love how authentic they come across, and they don't do it as cheesy as some people have in the past. So it's
not just a bunch of sweaty dudes in battle vests. It's like, it's the real deal.
It is.
Yeah, I love that. And
Everything is so set up perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that they do everything, man.
yeah, they're tight and everything. I love it.
It's so cool that Tony Khan just tells Malachi to just run with it, because that guy
Yeah.
knows all of that shit. And he's just, and now Malachi basically has carte blanche to be able to develop this thing into something super cool. And
As he should.
Oh, and not one of these promos since day one. Remember when they got him out of the psych ward on day one? Remember that? They were pulling him out of the psych ward. Like that was his first promo coming into AEW. And now up to this, how cool all this shit's been. I mean, it's
Well, see, that's a cool throwback tie-in too, is when Malachi first left the other company, he did that whole psych ward vignette. Buddy Matthews did the same thing like a couple weeks later or whatever. Whenever his release came, he did a very similar vignette. There was an asylum, there was all these things, and they were tied together from that point on. And Malachi actually mentioned, I don't know if he called him Matthew, I think it was, in that vignette that he did after he was released right before he was out in AEW. This whole thing's been brewing for a long time. And the fact that they were able to tie it all together this way, I think is just, it's perfect storytelling. It's like, you can't write this shit.
It is. I mean, they've got this thing perfectly. I mean, they got this one set up. I love this storyline. I love everything about it. So,
And then when we get into Revolution, like it all really
Holy
came
shit.
together in such a fun.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll talk about that then.
nice. All right. Keep going, Chris.
Where were we? I mean, we hit the Wardlow MJF segment next, right? You know,
Yep.
MJF tells him, you know, hey, you know what, big guy? If you win the TNT title, I'll let you keep it. Because you're not going to fucking win it anyway.
Right.
So, you know, I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. And I think this was kind of the turning point, really, for the audience to say, okay, they're really going to do this now, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we didn't know it at the time, and I thought, oh, bullshit, they're going to run this thing forever. That was the last real segment we were going to see with these guys.
Yeah. That's it. That's cool.
And then there was the Adam Page, John Silver, Alex Reynolds with Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly, the trios tag match they had. Obviously, this was building to Revolution, but what a match, though.
Fun. A lot of fun. But, you know, the Dark Order, I don't know if they're underrated, if that's the right word for it, or if they don't get enough credit, but they're on the same level as all the rest of these guys. It's just, it's just that they don't have that pedigree. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say they're less over and they're underutilized. They don't get the same amount of exposure that the main eventers are getting right now. So to see this storyline and suddenly pop Silver and Reynolds in here, it's a little weird.
It was
kind of wonky. Like, yes, they're, you know, we have this history with Dark Order and Adam Page, but we don't have enough history with the three of them versus the three of them. Unless you like watch Being the Elite and all these things, there's a lot of little things you can take out of that, which are hilarious, but it doesn't necessarily match the angle. And for all of them to suddenly be in the ring fighting.
Right.
But yeah, I think they're definitely underutilized is definitely what I wouldn't say underrated, because I think maybe they're right about at the level they're supposed to be. And I don't think that Silver and Reynolds necessarily belonged near this angle.
Gotcha. How about you, Tammy? What's your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts. I'm ready to talk about Revolution.
All right. So you just
We
want
still
to
got to get through Rampage. Shit.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys need a bathroom break? I need a bathroom break. Can we take a bathroom break?
Pause. So we get into Rampage now, and we were discussing here real quick in the break, but it seemed like more talk, less wrestling for this Rampage. Now, probably because of the fact that Revolution was coming up. So,
yeah, I think that's fair.
Right. So start us off, Chris.
So the first thing we had on Rampage this week was the TNT title match with Andrade versus Darby versus Sammy, who's obviously the current champion.
I just have a question quick though. Are we doing a
Yes.
wrestling moves quiz now or after Rampage?
Not yet. I
Okay.
don't think we're doing that yet.
That's what it said on here, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Carry on.
Well, let's
apologize,
get through
Taylor.
Rampage. We'll do that before we get to Revolution.
Okay.
So yeah, the title match, the TNT title match, it was a three-way match. Andrade, Sammy, and Darby.
Now, why do you think they did this? Is this like, did this seem like just like a warm-up to this trios match?
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm not really sure. I don't know why they did this. We've already done Sammy and Darby a few times.
Mhm.
And I thought we had already done Andrade and Sammy. Maybe
I
I'm
think we
wrong.
have. No.
I don't know
That's-
why they did this. I think they just needed a title match to fill the card, and they didn't have a build for anybody else.
That's the only thing that I can think of because it really did make sense because the Revolution match was much better. You know what I mean? And it made more sense. So, yeah, that I don't know. I those are my thoughts on that. I couldn't understand this match. Was it entertaining? Sure, it was good. So, I mean, it was, and that was it. So, I don't know, Tammy, what'd you think?
I mean, I didn't mind it. I mean, I know a lot of these people have wrestled each other before, and I don't, I thought it was just good old fashioned fun. So if that was the only reason to have the match, I think that's good enough. I look at my notes and it was like fun matchup. Wow, what was that Cirque du Soleil totem pole move?
Oh yeah, that one was really fun.
Andrade whooping people with a belt, and Darby and Andrade, running around and showing off all kinds of fun moves. So I thought it was fun. I think that was the only reason for it, really. I like all of them together. I think they're interesting. And I do think, like, even though they might come up in matches, they like bring out new stuff. Like, what was the whole thing with the belt, and then that like totem pole thing that was wacky. Even though we've seen this like these in different incarnations of this group, I still thought like they brought something new with some of their like fun little embellishment moves. And that's it. That's all I thought about it.
Nice. And then after,
I don't have anything to add to that. I think it was a weird match, but it was entertaining at least, right? Like it saved the first part of Rampage, I guess.
it did. And then we got into the big announcement of Alex Abrahantes, his outfit.
This shit is crazy.
It's weird with his bad spirit Halloween outfit that he's got.
And the makeup, the whole nine is just.
Oh, is that who he
why
is?
is it so terrible?
Yeah.
His name's Alex Abrahantes.
Alex Abrahantes.
And he's been Penta / Lucha talker for quite a
long
while
time
now.
Yeah.
But they're making him really look like an asshole at the moment.
No, it was silly what he was wearing both
It's
times.
so bad.
Like, it's so bad. It's embarrassing.
Last week was corny, and this week was it. I felt like it was even worse.
It was.
The
it was
lighting,
terrible.
the lighting is not helping the situation. They got full light on this guy, and
Yeah.
it looks like he's a fucking part-time guy from a haunted house.
And every time this happens, I go, who is that guy? Who is that? I have to look. I'm like, oh, it's that guy that's always with them that kind of translates. Like, I don't understand why he's around. Or I guess he's a translator, but he's starting to take himself seriously and not in the right ways.
Penta says, my outfit looks like shit.
I think the Penta Oscura character though, I think is rad.
I like it. I like it too.
I do too.
I think we're 100% on the right track with that, and I think Pac doesn't need to do shit.
No.
He's gonna fit into whatever element he's in as long as it's fucking brutal, right?
And he is brutal.
But then they're talking shit about they want this House of Black match at Revolution, and what do you know? Click your fingers, turn out the lights, House of Black will show.
Right.
Like they're like, okay, here we are.
Right. Hey, motherfuckers, what's up?
But then we find out they have a plan.
Yeah.
Alex says, Ray Phoenix has been out for a while. We're down one Lucha brother, but we brought another beast here, another monster. And fucking Eric Redbeard comes out.
Jesus, man. The size of this motherfucker It's
Oh, he's
stunning.
huge. He's huge.
And he's delightful. You can tell.
He's
with his
awesome.
face. He just has a fun, kind face too.
I
He
love,
really is.
dude. He's all into metal too. I love it. It's like,
Big time. So he was actually a tag partner with the late great Brody Lee back in the other company. They were called the Bludgeon Brothers. And for a while, he was running side by side with Mr. Brian Danielson back when he was over there. And every week the fun game was, what metal shirt is he gonna wear this week? And I mean, he wore every shirt you could imagine. I remember there was a Monomarth one week. It was like Behemoth the next week, and then it would be like fucking Ozzy or something. And he was going all across the board. I'm like, this dude knows his shit, and he's a great wrestler. He's very intimidating. His personality isn't really, it doesn't matter because he's huge and scary, right? And his beard is like enviable. Like it's this massive, big, red, scary beard. And for the longest time, his handle on Instagram was Eric Redbeard. And sure enough, here he is. He's Eric Redbeard now in AEW. I was so glad to see him because the only time we ever saw him was when they did the Brody Lee tribute episode right after Brody died. Because they had a tag history and a friend history and all that. And I was like, oh, he's going to be in. And then we never saw him again. I was like, oh, that's a bummer. They should have brought him in. And well, he's fucking here now. And I guess he's up with Death Triangle at the moment. So who's going to fucking watch your ass, boys?
Oh, no, you got to watch out. I was like, when he came out, I was like, oh, shit. They're going to, the House of Black is threatened. Like, this is serious. He's bigger than fucking Brody King. You know what I mean?
Like by a half a foot or more.
At least I'm like, holy fuck. You know
and he murdered some security guards on his way out. Like, come on.
That's just taking people out, dude. It was awesome. It was totally sick. And then that sets up the match, the buy-in for Revolution. So we'll get to that too.
Yep.
So then after that, we got the very talented wrestlers of Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky stuck in, I feel like, a void. I feel
it's
like
purgatory.
I think
it's wrestling purgatory.
I feel like they're in purgatory and they don't deserve to be in purgatory.
It's fucking Dan Lambert's fault, I feel like now.
Oh, I don't know because, man, I mean,
not in real life, but that's how it feels at this point.
Maybe that's what they're trying to set up. So then you mentioned that Paige Van Zant is signed. Well, I think like we were talking about earlier, they were trying to do something with Brandy. Brandy left, and now Paige is kind of lost in the wind, but they were promising her a contract, and now they've got to incorporate into the ladies wrestling. Now, I know you're kind of like, she doesn't have this history, but I think she could be. I think she may surprise you. Let's just put it that way. I think she may surprise you because she's a good athlete, man. So we'll see. I know you got that look on your face, but
I just think we're talking about dumb shit instead of getting to the nuts and bolts of things. Who cares about that?
We're getting there.
All right, Tammy. Then you go to the nuts and bolts of things. You take it. What do you want to talk about?
Let's get through Rampage. Let's do it fast.
Hold on. We had Keith Lee and JD Drake up next in a nice match. This shit was crazy. Two big men slapping meat. What'd you guys think?
Fun. I loved it.
Yes.
I love Keith Lee.
He brings me joy.
Keith Lee brings me joy as well. I can watch him all the time. And I like hearing him talk. But I also like listening to Ricky Starks make fun of him too. Because he wants to just crush him.
JD Drake was fun, He's
a good wrestler, man.
I didn't understand the Pretty Boys attack, Orange Cassidy comes out, there was all that. I wasn't quite sure about what was going on there.
Well, they were kind of building to the what is it, the Face of the Revolution ladder match. We sort of got a lot of characters out. We got Orange Cassidy coming out like
true.
In his pockets and shit, looking at everybody. It was just to kind of bring that along a little bit. I don't know why the wingmen were involved though.
Oh, what did I call them? The Pretty Boys?
Yeah,
same thing. You got Ryan Nemeth in there and Cesar. But I mean, it was a good match though. It was entertaining. It's always fun to watch Keith Lee whoop somebody's ass.
Oh, it is.
It is.
And I like the wingmen. They're funny. So I don't mind seeing them on screen.
They're entertaining.
Yep.
So then we got into the Punk segment and he was looking deranged and ready to go. And
Yeah,
then,
obviously pre-taped from Wednesday. They were cleaning him up, and he was doing the face you guys mentioned.
that's what he was doing. That's what he was
And
doing.
he's
That's
like,
all
Yeah,
like,
he was. Yeah.
I called it the No More Mr. Nice Guy promo because he's like,
That's perfect.
fuck MJF. I'm gonna tear this shit up. Old CM Punk is here. You asked for it, you wanted it, you got it. You wanted the best, you got the best. Yeah. So and then we where'd we go, Rafe? We moved into the Jay Cargill, Mark Sterling segment.
Mark Sterling segment, and then Jade is getting better, and said, yeah, and then like it's 48 hours no contact, which I don't. That you're right. I agree with you. That was dumb.
Mark was an idiot on this one. He brought this on himself. He said, they can't contact you. There's no contact until 48 hours before the match. First of all, what kind of fucking rule is that? I've never heard of such a thing. You can't make any contact until 48 hours prior. That's 2 whole fucking days.
That dude's
in a company that has a bunch of shit right at the end of the week. So they wrote that specifically so that Anna Jay and Ty Conti could come out and mess with her a little bit.
Yep.
I think you're right, though. I think Jade Cargill's getting better, but we didn't really see that until Sunday. So, Tammy, what do you think about that?
I agree with everything you said. I don't have anything pertinent to add.
Nice.
Right on.
So then we got
everyone's time repeating it in a different way.
Thanks there. Thanks for your input.
What? Do you want me to find new ways to say the same thing he just said?
Listen,
I'm saving us all time here. I agree.
So then we got it. So then we got into Serena D versus Layla Gray. Layla Gray is a local here. We've seen her around and seen her matches, and she's actually really good. Actually,
we have pictures with her. Don't lie.
We do have pictures with her.
I think Layla Gray's badass, but it's Serena fucking D, man.
Serena D. And then, to my dismay, Hikaru Shida comes out. I mean,
I thought we were done with this.
So did I.
How many fucking matches are they going to do?
They're just going to have a feud every 3 months. It's never going to end. It's just going to be Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida till the end of time.
It doesn't serve either of them.
It's not. It's not.
Or they're going to have their own version of Spy versus Spy.
It's like that scene in Curse of the Black Pearl where Jack Sparrow and Barbossa are fighting, and he says, "What are we to do? Are we just to be 2 immortals fighting until the end of nothingness or some shit like that?" It's the same thing. We're just going to stand here, not able to win, not able to lose. We're just done. This is us forever. I mean, either fight or fucking don't, right? Somebody has to win. Let's go. Serena Deeb was doing shit, and now we've ruined it again.
Yes.
Right. I don't get it.
Hikaru Shida could actually be doing other stuff too. It's stupid. I don't want to talk about it.
No, I mean, I don't know why. If they fucking wrestle again, I'm just going to lose it because, dude.
Well, you might as well lose it now because they are.
Because she needs to wrestle other people. There's a whole fucking women's division, man. It's like, let her wrestle somebody else.
It's probably already scheduled for fucking Rampage, Rafe.
Yeah, I agree.
And then
move on.
Then there was the quick segment with Kingston, which was fucking hilarious.
Oh my God, the Reese's peanut butter pie shit.
Right. And he said, "I know kayfabe is dead, but let's not piss on its grave." Was absolutely
that was beautiful.
Funny
beautiful.
Shit.
I love that Chris Jericho is doing like this whole I'm a real wrestler, and then Kingston's like, "Hey, asshole."
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
I know kayfabe is not really a thing anymore, but you don't have to be a dick about it. Like,
right.
I'm gonna go eat in catering now. Bye.
He goes, "I'm gonna get some Reese's peanut butter pie." He goes, "I see some Reese's peanut butter pie over there." I looked at Tam. I go, "Tammy, you don't think you relate to Kingston? You want to just cut the bullshit and go eat the pie?"
He said, "Tony, we got somewhere to be." Holy shit. And Tony's eyes lit up. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
I love Schiavone.
Yeah, man. That was great.
Then this match, even it doesn't sound good to say it. Christian Cage versus Ethan Page.
Right.
I don't like the way that rolls off my tongue.
Yeah.
Is anybody else disappointed that Christian was the one that won this and ended up going into this ladder match?
Yes. But
I have a
did,
theory about it, but I want to know what you guys think.
I have this probably the same theory as you. I have no clue why they even put him in there. I don't even know why, but I think no, I do have a clue. The only reason they did it is because he's wrestled in 22 ladder matches. And I think he's going to be the guy that keeps everybody safe in that ring.
Bingo.
And that's it. And I
And
think
he can help write the spots. He can help map the whole thing out.
right. And he could help the whole thing move along the way it should move along.
There's literally not an idea that anybody could have for a ladder match that Christian hasn't already thought of or been a part of.
Right. Because he's done them all. So that's the only reason. And it sucks that it was Ethan Page because, again, Ethan Page needs to get some better shit. He's a better fucking wrestler than what they're giving him. So
Agreed.
So all right, we're
Tammy,
up.
Any
Tam.
thoughts?
Oh, thanks for thinking of me, Chris.
Oh, now
Anything?
it's my fucking fault. You're ready to move on at the moment's notice, and then the minute,
Yeah, but it's my option if I'm going to move on.
look, Uncle Baby Billy
Nobody
said
else said they wanted to
bullshit.
move on. Nobody else said they wanted to move on. So I don't
Tammy,
actually have
any thoughts?
nothing. There's only one thing I said when this match came on, and it's insulting to everybody involved, and I'll just be honest. I put snack time.
But what?
Snack time.
That's when I got up and went. I wasn't expecting.
Oh,
it.
That's when she gets up and goes and gets a snack.
I
It
literally
took me a
did, right?
minute. Damn. I was like, what is snack time? Oh, you left. Damn. That's a burn. All right.
I literally did, right? Right? He was
She
saying it.
doesn't. And anytime Daniel Garcia, I see her on her notes, she writes snack time, gets up and walks away, doesn't even watch the match.
Well, to each their own, I suppose.
Yeah,
Exactly. I told you it wasn't going to be a popular opinion.
yep. So
I mean, when I do my snacks, I eat them while I'm watching. I prepare everything in advance. So
No.
the fact that you even get up and walk away during some shit.
oh yeah, she did.
Only the ones I really, 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 really don't care about.
She really.
Oh,
She's not a fan of Christian Cage, Frankie Kazarian, Daniel Garcia. She just those dudes.
There's a different level of my feelings for them. I don't hate Christian Cage.
I'm not saying you hate them.
Or who is
but
the
you
other
don't feel like you need to see it. You can just
No.
miss it. It's fine.
Yeah, they're just like, I know they're good wrestlers, but I'm not really intrigued at all, and it's just boring to me,
Okay.
And I dislike Garcia, so that's a different situation.
I love them.
Well, you're just starting to love him because I hate him now.
Right.
All right, it's on. It's
probably
on.
not
Ready,
hurt.
podcast listeners or viewers or however you receive this information.
All right. All
I'm
right.
buying
all
a
You
right.
fucking-
just started here.
All
I'm
right,
getting-
kids.
I'm getting his T-shirt.
All
I'm
right,
getting his T-shirt.
listen to cousin
Listen,
Chris.
kids. Listen, kids. We've got to move on. We have an entire
you're
fucking pay-per-view to talk about.
You're right. We need to get to the fucking pay-per-view.
That was like fucking 7 hours long or something. I don't even know how long this thing was.
You're
It was
right.
so long that
Fuck.
I had a really hard time keeping up with everything. Now, as I told you guys earlier privately, I'm going to tell everybody that's listening and watching right now, I didn't watch the whole pay-per-view because I just don't have that kind of time in my life. I can't spare 4.5, 5 hours to watch an entire wrestling show on a Sunday night. AEW, I'm very upset with you right now. You used to do all your shit on Saturdays, and you're making it difficult. I
Yeah.
don't like it. My kids got school on Mondays. I got people waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah.
Let's do better, please, in the future. Moving forward, back
Hey.
to Saturdays.
Agreed.
Hey man, I'm hurting today too, man. I was like,
I bet.
So,
I bet.
but I
Yeah,
did
we
it.
stayed up and watched the whole thing
That's the whole damn thing.
You guys were up to like 1:30, 2 o'clock.
and made notes,
Yep.
which probably aren't very legible. So it's good that you came up with a recap.
All right.
So then we moved right into the pre-show, right? It started at what, 7 p.m.
Yep.
East Coast time. Layla Hirsch, Chris Statlander.
Let me make a note of this. So here's what happened.
Oh, this was funny, Chris.
This was very funny. So I buy the pay-per-view, right?
Oh no.
So instead, like you can watch the buy-in on pay-per-view. So I buy the pay-per-view on Sling. Okay.
Well,
Like-
you can watch it on YouTube though.
Yeah, I understand that. But when you buy the pay-per-view, they give you the buy-in show as part of it. Okay. Even though it's free, but you could still just watch it and not have to switch the channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or go to another platform. So I'm like, all right. So I put the sling on. I bought the sling that, paid my money, put the sling on. The match starts. It's in fucking Spanish. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I go to the other one. I'm going, please God, don't let me say that I bought this whole fucking thing in Spanish and I got to watch a 5-hour show in Spanish. So I'm going to lose it.
A panic going through him at that moment.
I'm
He
fucking
spent all that money on it and it was all in Spanish.
I'm getting freaked out. So Tammy looks at me. She's like, just look on Twitter, see if anybody else is having this problem. So I'm fucking bugging out. I'm like turning the shit on and off. I'm going through did I put the captions on? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. She's like, Rafe, go on the internet and look the shit up. So I looked this shit up, and of course, there's a whole bunch of people. They started the broadcast in Spanish instead of English. And somebody writes on fucking Twitter, this commentary is in Spanish. Why is this? Everybody
all
else
caps.
in all caps, and we're like a bunch of petulant children. Like as soon as something happens, you know what I mean? We take to the internet and whine and cry until someone fixes it. Fix my stuff. Fix my stuff. And like within minutes, the shit's fixed, right? So I was like, phew. I was like, all right, finally.
Well, I mean, the plus side there is you didn't do anything wrong. It happened to everybody. You're good, right?
Right. I was good. So I can relax and I can breathe, It
wasn't his fault.
It wasn't my fault.
Right, exactly. It's not Ray's fault. It's fucking AEW's fault or the internet.
I wasn't blaming him, by the way.
The broadcaster's fault or somebody.
Oh, I would have been so pissed though. You get that feeling though. Did I order the wrong fucking thing? Did I just spend all this money on nothing?
Spanish on it? Did I not notice that?
Right.
Did it say en español? And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Fuck yeah.
I was like, what did I do? Am I an ass? It's like
it was like a nightmarish about 15 minutes till it got sorted out for poor Rafe. He's been looking forward to this. He got it bought early, so there would be no issues. And then it was all like, "Sí, señor."
I was so fucking prepared. Oh, buenos días, buenas noches. I got Orlando.
Yeah, but if it's gonna be in any language, it would be at least kind of follow.
I was like, I could get some of this, but I don't know all of it. I was like, I'm thinking in my head, maybe I could get through it. Maybe I could put on the captions for English. I was like, the terror.
I'll make this work. I can make this work. Well, we'll get through it. It's no big deal. Turn on the Google Translator real quick.
Right. I mean, I was panicked.
One of the funniest thing is many decades ago when we were first dating, I signed up for a how to speak Spanish in the workplace course, and Rafe just came along, God knows why. And we'd go in after not even sleeping and being out all night and do the fucking class. And we should know something. We should be able to understand.
Timmy would be reeking of booze.
Nope. Not if you went out before. Nope. You're not going to remember that.
Dude,
come on now.
I remember
that was like
Mark Hungry.
We literally
20 years ago or something.
Oh my God. We literally maybe slept 3 hours and went to this Spanish class. Man. It was just ridiculous.
We did it for like 2 months.
Like 2 months. Like, what are we doing?
I can tell you right now, I don't remember anything that happened when I was hungover 20 years ago.
Oh, no.
And now here we are. Where it's like, this is when we should be able to use it, Rafe.
Right.
The pay-per-view for
Yeah, we trained for this.
I mean, like I completely fucked up.
Oh God!
Bad.
What the hell were we talking about, man?
Oh, so I missed most of this fucking match because I just went into a total panic. So
which one was it? It was the first match, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and Chris Statlander.
So I was watching this while I was cooking dinner last night.
Okay.
I was more disappointed than I thought I would be.
Yeah,
This thing was slapped together. It was like, have you guys been here before? I don't understand. And this angle's been going on for all this time. And the fucking payoff is just super sloppy and bad.
Yeah. It was a shame.
Wasn't even worth watching.
I think they're great wrestlers, and I just don't think
they are.
I just don't understand. It wasn't that good.
I
Wasn't that good?
You guys know I'm a big mark for Statlander, and to see this go the way it went, it was like, son of a bitch.
Yep.
We couldn't even get a decent pre-show pay-per-view match out of this thing. It's been taking up so much TV time, and it's just there you go. Here's a pile of shit.
Basically,
thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's basically.
It was fun to start in Spanish.
So, yeah. Anyway.
And we move right on. The Hook versus QT Marshall.
So
another
then,
one that's been building for a while.
So then we're watching this, and this is what Tammy says to me. It's total silence. We're watching this. It's not, it's a cool match. Tammy looks at me, she says, a lot of dudes like Hook.
I think that's a fair assessment.
It is.
And I think it's something I would notice as well. I paused this match as it was going and rewound it to the beginning. And I looked at my wife and I looked at all my girls and I said, hey, everybody stop what you're doing. Watch this shit and tell me what you think of this kid.
Ooh.
And they're all just. And then I hear laughter on one side. And I hear, what the fuck is this? What's wrong with his hair? And I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. Like, it's not just me. Because I thought maybe I was just like biased and stupid and maybe jealous. Like, Tammy, you were ragging on me a couple weeks ago. You're like, oh, you're just jealous. I'm like, maybe I am. He's a handsome kid. He's young. He's fucking fit. He's talented. He's got money, I'm sure. It's not. I am not the only one that thinks that this is weird. And I know it now.
All right. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird to me.
We're talking about kids from ages 6 all the way up to 18 almost, right?
Right.
And my wife, who's 38 right now.
Right. Yeah.
Almost 38 in March.
Yeah.
Come on. Nobody gets it. Who's watching him?
I don't know.
Who are these fans?
I know. I know who the fans are. Ready? They're mostly dudes.
But why though? Are they a bunch of dudes his age? Like, fuck yeah,
No.
man. Fuck
They're not. They're not his age. That's what's so weird.
They're older men.
You think so? Are we talking about like predator status? What are you talking about here?
No. They're not that old.
What do you mean older men?
They're older than him.
Man.
They're older than him.
Guys that need to express themselves
you're
in
an older
safe
man.
ways and like other dudes in safe ways on TV. Those are the dudes. There's nothing wrong with this. We celebrate it. It was just an observation. That's all.
Wait.
She said,
I will say that I'm sure that's probably part of the demographic, but not the majority.
Who's the majority?
That is safer ways to like.
The majority of people that are like amping this kid up are probably younger, I would think.
I don't, but all I'm saying that could be true. But it's not what I'm visually seeing when people are pumped up. I don't know. I don't think we should be going to this. I think we're getting in trouble and it's going to be misinterpreted in like 1,000 different ways.
It will be.
Rafe, this
I'm
is your
just curious.
fault.
It's not my fault. You said it.
You said something about a predator, didn't you?
No,
I did.
No, we're not.
I'm trying to understand.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
No,
I'm
not
just
at all.
saying.
His
It
appeal.
seems like a lot of dudes are excited about Hook, which is unusual for a young guy that looks like that, for a bunch of dudes to be so pumped up about when he hasn't wrestled very long and proven himself as a wrestler. Do you see?
I agree.
So it's like, you can read whatever you want into that, but that's what I've noticed. The demographic, I see a bunch of dudes that look in like their late 30s with like Hook shirts and signs, looking super pumped when it comes out.
Okay.
Now
I see where you're going. Late 30s, maybe early 40s. My demo, basically, is what you're talking about.
I'm not seeing like a 17-year-old girl with a Hook sign, So
that's where I have the disconnect.
That's all. It's okay.
I was saying that's where I have a
Everybody should
disconnect
their
because
person.
I can't relate to that. I don't understand why anybody would be into him, especially at my age, where it's like this young kid that's doing this shit. I mean, he's cool. And I will say this about this match. This might have been his best one yet. Very talented young man. Very, very skilled, very knowledgeable. I think Taz has done right by him, teaching him a lot of stuff. However, I don't get the hype still. And if it's people my age, I have no idea why they're digging it.
And I could be wrong. This is just an observation. Here's my notes on the match. I think everybody will appreciate. I never cared about this rivalry. This feels like if I fought one of Rez's friends.
What?
What?
Doing his part and
What did you just say?
You're fighting a teenager? Is that what it is?
I said I never cared about this rivalry, and this feels as if I was fighting one of Rez's friends. Yes.
I'm just trying to
Steve
picture
Marshall
Tammy in like a
and Hook
bowling
feels
shirt.
like me and one of Rez's friends. And I said Hook is doing his part well, and he did do a great job. But it's still not, it's still not plausible, and it's not believable.
It's not.
Oh,
It was so unplausible. I don't even. It just wasn't.
I mean, that's how I was seeing it. Like, you know, QT Marshall's at least my age, and Hook's about my kid's age, and I felt like if I was like, all right, bro, that's it. We're doing this. Let's settle this in the backyard. That's what would be.
Things have gone awry.
Yes, I'm
we
sorry.
have so much of this pay-per-view left.
I know.
Sorry. All right, I'm done. Case rested.
Oh, my stomach hurts and my face hurts. I mean, it's just
Oh
like,
shit.
that was hilarious.
All right.
Shit. Ah. Okay.
Rafe, take us somewhere else.
Oh man, so then we oh shit. It's like anyway. Whoo. So then we have the greatest intro of the House of Black. This new one was awesome, man. This was such a sick
So fucking badass. They all got mad. I literally shouted, they all got mass like 3 times.
Yeah.
And everybody in the house was like,
what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with
are
you?
you okay? Because
I
they
just-
haven't been watching it. They didn't understand how important it was that we got the 3 of them. And they've all got the fucking antlers. And it looks so awesome.
Yeah.
Now we've got bluish light instead of the white light.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever was happening. So visually exciting.
It was.
It really was.
It set up the match perfectly. And then, of course, you know, you had they call the Dark Triangle come out, and
Death Triangle.
Death Triangle comes out, and Abrahantes looked like it was, you know, he still had the bad outfit on, and it was like, what the fuck, dude? You guys can be so badass.
The contrast of presentation here cannot go unspoken, right? You've got the House of Black with this awesome, like crazy, like vibey sort of like, what are they? I don't understand. This feels dark and mysterious and sexy and like vibrant. And then that fucking foam tombstone and and
It's like, it was bad.
Vincent Price with the Red Robin, like the Red Riding Hood cloak on. Why is this happening? Why? I don't understand. You're doing 2 dark gimmicks, and the one is just really bad. How has nobody said to them, like, hey, man, this shit is kind of corny. It's not working.
Sometimes when you're head of creative needs to take control. You know what I mean? It's like, and they didn't. Did he not like look in the fucking mirror and say, I look like a total douche. I better not fucking go out here like this. I mean, I would have been like, I look terrible. I mean, I just
They've been pushed into a corner of the world they don't belong.
Who was like, nah, dude, you look great. You look great. Like MJF is the only one that told him he looked great.
He looked like fucking grandpa from the Munsters in the 50s.
Right. He looked terrible. But anyway, we got to get to this match, or we're going to be podcasting until 11 o'clock at night.
So the match itself was rad. Am I wrong?
It was fucking awesome, dude.
It was
super
good. Great.
I mean, for Brody to hit that Death Valley driver on fucking Redbeard,
massive man,
get the pin was just, I can't believe he didn't snap his spine in half lifting that motherfucker up. That was awesome. And all of the moves were cool. Penta had some fucking outstanding moves.
Yeah.
I mean,
as always,
I mean,
so good.
And it was fun. I would love to watch another one. I mean, this is a match I'd watch again. Like another version of it I'd watch. You know, like we're always bitching about Sheeta and D, but I could watch this pairing again. You know what I mean? Just to see what would come of it. So it was a great way to really, I think that was the true kickoff for Revolution right there. That match kind of set it up for everything. And then right after that, you know, Don Callis comes out. Omega comes out. I jump out of my chair. I'm like, Kenny's coming. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then, of course, they blow it.
I just tuned Don Callis out after a minute. I just couldn't listen to him blabber
Not
on.
at all. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Yes.
How dare they?
How dare they? Exactly.
What? Are you serious? Kenny's been gone this long, and you're going to do the whole thing. You're going to put the fucking video up. You're going to do the music. And we get Don fucking Callis?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know. We paid $50 motherfucking dollars for this.
You have any idea how mad I was? I'm like, this is the end of the free part?
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, we were upset too. I was like, damn it, man. I wanted to see Kenny come out. And then he starts ragging about how violent and bloody AEW. Dude, just shut the fuck up.
I just didn't even listen.
Yeah. I was done with him.
I want to make it real clear though. I love Don Callis. This character is fucking perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It pisses people off so much. Don Callis does so much extra for Kenny Omega and his character as it is now. I cannot fucking wait to see what happens when he does come back with this whole Bucks, Cole, Red Dragon, all this shit that's going on. It's gonna be so bad. Don Callis is gonna be a nasty snake piece of shit. It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's a great setup, and it's eagerly anticipated. So I can't wait to see it. So then they kicked off Revolution with Kingston and Jericho. All right, man. Now you didn't watch the match, Chris, did you?
I've seen most of it at this point.
Okay.
I've seen most of the pay-per-view at this point. I just haven't seen it all in its entirety, like in succession. Like,
gotcha.
You know what I mean? I've seen every match piece by piece. I've seen every part that was good. I've seen a lot of parts that were not good.
Right.
So this match to me was basically Eddie Kingston's like his masterpiece, right? Like he kind of did everything that people say Eddie Kingston can't do in this match. And Chris Jericho pulled out all of the tricks. Chris Jericho did everything he could. And it was pointless.
Right. Yeah. So it was good, but also I don't know if you caught it, but there was a moment where Jericho pushed Aubrey.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
He got in her face and he was doing the thing and she was like, "What? Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Chris. And he was kind of like, I might be pushing it.
Right. Yeah. So I'm thinking, is he turning heel or is he just psyched from the match?
That's the thing. He's already a heel. He's been a heel this whole time. But he's so fucking over that he can't actually get booed.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going down the path with this Kingston thing. I think eventually he just signed a new contract.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere. I think we might see the stupid, shitty, annoying side of Jericho coming.
All
And
right.
isn't that what his whole song is about? Betraying everybody? It's a healed song.
100%. It's called Judas, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I feel like it's never made sense to me because he was so like and seemed like such
And
a
let me say this, Chris Jericho is absolutely a billion times better as an asshole, for sure. Make no mistake about it, he's great as a babyface and people love him, but it's partially because he's been in the business forever and how much he's elevated things over the decades. But as a jerk, he's one of the best.
Okay, maybe this is his.
He has a big ego, and I'm sure he lights that up.
Oh, he does.
Absolutely.
So then we get right into, after that one, Kingston gets the tap out, doesn't realize he gets the tap out. And Kingston, this pushed Kingston over the edge, which is great. I love Eddie Kingston. I always will. And we're going to see big things coming on the horizon for him. So
Seeing him get emotional and not know what was going on was absolutely beautiful. The fact that they're getting him this close to a big picture in AEW is long overdue, well deserved. I'm so happy for Eddie Kingston. Before I say anything else, Tammy, did you have anything to add to this match?
No, I just really enjoyed it. I was looking at my notes and it didn't seem to have anything. I like some of like the weird things that happened, like when he was pulling on Chris's cheeks and, you know, but like these interesting moves he has that I don't really see anybody else pulling, but I liked it. I think I feel the same way as everyone else. So there's no reason to go further into it with me. Thank you for asking.
Rafe, did you have anything else to add to this before I say one last little bit?
no, I didn't. Because like I said, I thought it was interesting that Jericho was getting so aggressive and getting more heelish, because I'm not used to seeing him that way. So what were you going to say?
So Mr. Dickhead Chris Jericho, real knob, right? I'm going to shake his hand. I'm going to congratulate him, blah, blah, blah. What does he do? Oh, I can't do it. And he leaves.
Right.
Yes. It starts at Revolution, people. Be
Right.
ready for Chris Jericho to be annoying as fuck from here on out.
I'm
Nice.
all about it. Yay.
Nice. Right on. So we will see. And then we get into the Bucks, Red Dragon, and Jungle Express. Now, I didn't quite understand the rules of this.
I didn't either.
Okay. So I guess we were kind of all lost in that, because I think Tammy and I were talking about like, well, who's what and what's where. And I feel like this was I thought that this was a very entertaining match to watch. And I thought that the moves were very good. I thought that, Jungle Boy always takes a beating very well. And then they do their amazing comeback and then they win. But I just felt like this to me, as far as the match itself and the wrestling itself was concerned, it was great. As far as the storyline was concerned, it just seemed like Jurassic Express was in there just to sell pay-per-view. And it was really all about the Bucks and Red Dragon and whatever their future was going to be. And so to me, as the way it fits into the storyline, it didn't make sense for Jurassic Express to even be there, to have this to be a title defense.
No.
But as far as the match itself was concerned, it was fucking awesome, man. I mean,
yeah,
they did some great fucking moves and some shit off the ropes, and everybody was involved, and it was fun and it was entertaining, and I watched every minute of it, and there was some great thrilling moments of it. But sticking to the storyline, Jungle Express seemed out of place in it. So that's my opinion.
So here's the thing, and this was a good example of how one of my pet peeves about AEW. It's like rules go out the fucking window when there's a big tag match. They don't necessarily hammer down on people in tag matches when shit's going haywire. Which is tough for a company that's so big on statistics and so big on rules and so big on this is how things are supposed to be, for them to kind of ignore so much shit and for hot tags to not be as big of a thing as they should be. And illegal guys are running in. There's never any DQs when there should be. it sort of makes me go like, well, why are we doing this? Is it just for like a pop? Is it just for fun? It takes the majesty away from it. It takes the realism. It takes the realism away from it. It doesn't feel like a legit fight when you just say, okay, fuck the rules. Everybody do what you want, do some cool spots, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Tammy, what's your think? What did you think?
I think I'm along the same lines as everyone. I just felt like I've seen this match before.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't exciting to me. I was like, I like everyone enough and they're all skilled enough, but for paying $50, I feel like I see this match every week.
There it is.
That's fair.
That is definitely fair. Like I said, it was out of place, but it was fun to watch the wrestlers.
All right, we can move on to the next one.
So then
the worst part about this was there was no title change.
Yeah, no title change at all. There was no title change.
Like, why did we build so hard to this for no fucking title change?
Yeah, no at all on anything.
Zero.
And then
yeah,
after
I brought that up the night of, Chris. I did. I noticed that as well.
Yep. So then we got into the ladder match. Now, this was super fun. This was a super fun match.
It was a good match.
Orange Cassidy actually really got hurt when Keith Lee threw him out of the ring. Like he fucked his shoulder up real bad. It was fun to see Keith Lee using Orange Cassidy as like a ram to knock everybody down. It was fun to see Wardlow sneak in and power smash Hobbs and Lee into the tables because that was the only way he was going to win that one. They did a very good job of cleverly crafting the match and the way the result turned out, I thought.
Yeah.
And the Danhausen jumping in, throwing the curse on was fucking hilarious. Orange Cassidy was great because he was trying to outsmart everybody and climb on their backs and that whole thing. And then of course we knew ultimately Wardlow. I mean, it was pretty predictable that Wardlow was going to win this, but overall, this was a lot of fun too. This was a fun thing that definitely fit on a pay-per-view card.
For sure.
Anyone else?
Tammy, what did you think about this match?
First of all, we didn't mention or talk about Stroke Daddy Starks.
Swerve. Oh, Stroke Daddy.
Shane Strickland?
Oh wait,
no.
This was with this ladder match.
Yeah.
You're talking about Starks, Ricky Starks.
He said,
why are we calling him Stroke Daddy?
Because
they
that was
called
on
it
his
more
jacket.
than once. More than one time.
That was on his jacket.
So I was like, what? I'm not kidding. How do they not understand what they're saying when they go out there? Like, I couldn't believe it. That started it off for me. I was
Stroke Daddy Starks.
Yes. I'm like, what on earth is going on? Yeah, and they kept saying it. At first I thought, oh, I misheard it. But no, this was it. So, okay. I don't think that they want to go with that. They need to reevaluate that. So,
well, I mean, in the business, if you got the stroke, it means, you're a somebody. You can make things happen. You're a what's the word when you like I can't think of anything else. You got the stroke. Like you're the big cheese. You make shit happen.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you can make moves. You can change shit. You can fix things if you don't like it. So I get that part, but the Stroke Daddy thing is just no.
The way they put all the words together, it just doesn't sound right. So okay. Other than that, I think all of my notes were similar to the highlights you brought up, Rafe. So I won't go over those. They were using Cassidy like Serpentico. Which
they
was
were.
interesting. So yeah, I mean, all of my the things, all the little details you brought up, those are the same things that are in my notes. So we're good.
So here's what I'll say. Orange Cassidy had some great spots in this match. the one that sticks out the most to me is when he grabbed the ladder. I think it was Wardlow on one side and Keith Lee on the other side. He grabbed the ladder, did like a pull up, flip over thing, got on the ladder, and then stood up. Like that was some athletic shit.
That was cool. Yeah.
Now, granted, he went down right after that, but still, that was awesome. And his comedics throughout this whole match added like a lightness to this thing to make it not about a bunch of guys beating the shit out of each other. It was like, hold on, we have to be smart here. We're going to try to figure this out without getting hurt. I mean, of course, unfortunately, he got hurt. Ricky Starks didn't have that element. Ricky Starks was kind of the snake in the grass. He sort of did what he could to avoid damage. I thought the match was okay. I thought it could have been better, especially when you got somebody like Christian Cage in there. But at the end of the day, Wardlow got the big, stupid fucking gold Fruit Loop. Yay. He deserves it. He deserves more than that. I think it's a shitty way to put him in a title picture. But I mean, I can't think nobody else deserved to win it right now. We've been building this Wardlow thing for forever. So it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't awesome. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And then we had Swerve.
Yep. Swerve Strickland came out. I don't really know much about him. Maybe we could talk a little bit more about him when we actually see him, and we'll kind of move on from there. So
whose house?
Swerve's house. Gotcha.
Swerve's house. All
right. So we'll put a pin in that.
Get that tighter next time.
We'll talk about that guy next time. So then after that, we got into Jade versus Ty.
Hold on, before we move on, I promise you guys are going to dig Swerve. Very talented young man.
Okay.
Super athletic, super fun to watch. He's going to be great. I understand this was very underwhelming, and it wasn't a surprise at all because they've been talking about it for like 2 weeks, how he already signed and stuff. So keep your eyes on him. You're going to like it. I promise.
Yay.
Will do. So then we got into Jade versus Ty. And this was a good I thought this was a pretty good match for Jade. Was it a pay-per-view quality match? I'm not so sure. I didn't understand the whole kiss thing. Is that just to piss her off? I mean, I don't get that. But whatever. Ty Conti's getting really good at the rope shit. Like getting off the rope. She's learning a lot. She seems to be she's pulling like Sammy's moves. And I think it's really cool. And I think she's getting better. I think this was a good match, but a little underwhelming. I thought that Jade was really funny with her karate kicks and like making fun of the karate stuff. I thought she was really healing it up real well. Her skills are getting a little bit better. But this could have been on a Wednesday night. You know, I don't necessarily know if it was a pay-per-view, you know. What do you think, Tammy?
Just quick notes so we can get through. I just put, what was that kiss about? Great frog splash by Jade. Jade won, but Ty did great.
Okay.
I'm just grabbing my charger, guys. I'm still here.
Chris, thoughts?
Jesus, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Whole computer tried to commit suicide just now. So here's what I'll say about this. Jade Cargill looked better than she has in a long time. Rafe, you're absolutely right about Ty Conti. I don't think there's any coincidence at all that she's starting to look a lot more like Sammy. Obviously, they've got a lot going on. I'm sure they're training together at this point. And it's rubbing off, and good for everyone involved, because the better she gets, the better she's going to be as a competitor, the better TV we're going to have, the better women's division we're going to have. I have no problem with that. And again, like I said, I think Jade did very well here considering some of the other matches we've seen. This was much more impressive than her last title match, I think. But she's still not a believable champion to me, because she still isn't seasoned. She still doesn't have like counters and ways to get out of things and different styles. Like she's just one way and one way only. It's I can either beat the shit out of you or I don't know what the fuck to do.
Right.
So you can't put anybody in there super clever with her because she's going to lose her belt. So for what it is, it was not bad, but I wish they hadn't put the strap on her so early.
Yep. I agree. So then right after that, we got into the dog collar match, which I think this was probably, I mean, obviously it seemed like it was the best match of the night. It was pretty sick. There was a lot. I mean, and then there's people thought that there should have been more moves, I've read, but I think that
there's dog collar match.
I think there's certain limitations that you have to have without actually destroying another human being. So, I mean, I think that they had to do it that way. I think the thumbtacks were like a really cool element to it that they brought. This was a great conclusion to all of the whole hype that was going on between MJF and CM Punk, and CM Punk's intro was really cool. And I liked it. I mean, I thought that this was worthy of a pay-per-view match, and it was a history-making match for 100%. And I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I think it ended the way it should have ended. I think that it went on the way it should have gone on, and I think that it was a great wrestling match. Period. Anybody else?
Tammy?
You go ahead, Chris.
I'll say this. I have seen the complaints. I think they're bullshit. I think people were expecting too much from a dog collar match. We're talking about a match where two men are strapped together with a chain on. They can't. There's no big spots. There's no big moves here. It's all about brutality, blood, and just determination to fucking not die throughout the match, right?
Yeah.
The thumbtacks were extra. This is something you don't need in a dog collar match. CM Punk had welts on his back where you could see the chain. Yes. Max was bleeding. He was bleeding. This was everything you could want in an actual dog collar match. For people that complained about this, they're jaded. They don't understand what this match is, what the history of the match is, how hard it's got to be to go through how 10, 20, 30, however many minutes it takes to get through this thing and to have any kind of decisive victory. I mean, these guys fucking brutalized each other.
Oh yeah.
Just to entertain us. Yeah. And as far as all that goes, fuck yeah. I'm a little disappointed MJF didn't win.
Really?
I'm a little disappointed. I kind of thought that this would be where Punk like gave it to the new kid. I don't think it damages the story to have Punk win because of how they did the story and how much emotion was in this thing and everything as it played out. It makes sense to have Punk be the champion. He's the vet. He knows better. He's been through worse, et cetera, et cetera. But the Wardlow turn felt too little too late. He's like, oh, I don't have, whoops. And he gives it to Punk, and then Punk's got to win with a ring. That felt stupid to me. And maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe I'm too biased on Punk, but I don't feel like he needed this. I felt like he was going to win it anyway without that happening.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the position to win it, but they just needed a way to get Wardlow to turn. And I thought it was a kind of a lame way to do it.
It's like I said, it should have happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was my first dog collar match, so I thought it was fun. You know, I didn't have any more expectations than what it delivered. I agree that the tempo of Wardlow's turn was a little too short. It was weird for Punk to use a ring, but I understand it a little bit that it wasn't about, he knows he would win with or without the ring. He didn't need the ring to win. It was just a way to like be more damaging to MJF is the way I saw it.
Yeah, good point.
it was nice to see Punk win and not have MJF win through some sort of interference or diversion or something, because I don't think we've seen that yet.
No, we haven't.
And I here's my concern. I don't know where MJF goes from here.
Yeah, but dude, they'll find someone.
I mean, he's now lost. He's lost his guard dog. He's lost the big match he wanted. He's not in a title picture right now. We're talking about somebody who's very important and who has caused a lot of ratings in the last, I don't know how many months. And now he's sort of floating.
Yeah. Tammy?
Well, I know where he can go. He can fight Wardlow.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
That's
they're going to have to now. They're going to have to.
Yep. So great stuff. Fuck the internet. They don't know what they're fucking talking about. They can kiss my ass. I thought it was awesome.
Aren't you uploading this podcast on the internet? Be careful.
Shh, don't tell them.
I won't tell them, I promise.
Don't tell them you don't like them.
I won't. So, and then we got into the Thunder Rosa DMD match. I'm going to say this. Did not like it.
That's all I have to say about it as well.
I really didn't
I'm going
like
to
it.
shit all over this thing.
I didn't like it at all. I thought it was lame. I really did. I was pissed. I was like, man, this fucking sucks.
It totally sucks.
So I said earlier I was going to save my comments about the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker stuff that happened in their tag match for later at Revolution. And here's what I'm going to say. Britt Baker is past her peak with this title. I'm super excited to see a new title. All the more reason to put it on somebody else, first of all. The new title looks great. I thought the old title looked like a knockoff, like replica version that you'd find at Walmart for a kid. Of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, right? It was like a smaller, dumbed down version of it. The new title looks cool. It's separate. It's got its own vibe. It's gold. It's not silver. There's so much that's happening there that's great. Why the fuck does Britt Baker still have this strap? She's done. She's fought everyone and everything. It's over. There's no program left. It's time to move on. And they already passed it a few weeks ago. We've done this program for too long. It needs to move on to a new champion. Britt Baker can't win this thing by herself. It's dumb. We're wasting time.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's upsetting. So let's get on to a match that was good and important and that moved the storyline, which was Mox and the American Dragon. This was an epic battle. I thought it started out like in the fashion that I expected it to start out with. The moves, the skill. They move through the skills of everything. And but Mox got the pin on this. And then they introduced this guy, which is William Regal. Now, he seems like he's united the two of them. And that they may become a faction. Tammy,
I don't know if it'll be a faction. I don't know about that.
What's your thoughts, Tammy?
Well, that you had two people. I've always liked Mox, and now Danielson's my new BFF. So I thought that the match was great. There was lots of like cool things and wild things, like Danielson he's stepping on Mox's abs.
Yeah.
That's some fucking abs, man. Maybe the abs need their own Instagram now. That's crazy how you can step on them and just be okay. But whatever. I'm out of shape, so I don't understand how these things work. I don't know. It was quite a battle. It was really like you had to question, did you just see who pinned who? Like, I think we're confused because it happened so quick. I don't know a lot about Regal, just that he's this like long history with wrestling. Like, he's very esteemed in the wrestling world. And did he really mentor them? That's what he kind of came out with the storyline was. So
yes,
that was kind of interesting. I still didn't understand what the conclusion to all of that staring each other down, I'm gonna come out and straighten out the boys situation was, or what that means next. But hey, it was cool.
I'm excited.
What do you say, Chris?
Yeah, what do you say? What say you, Chris? What say you?
Do I gotta use words? I mean, William Regal is all elite. William Regal is all elite. I am so fucking excited, you guys. Yes, he mentored the two of them. He's probably mentored everybody you've seen on a TV in a wrestling company in the last decade. William Regal is such an influential person in this business. He's one of the biggest reasons that NXT was a success through its heyday, which is over. He's one of the reasons that WCW was as big as it was. He's one of the reasons that WWE was able to kill WCW. This guy is a wrestling genius. And as a wrestler himself, amazing. I mean, absolutely, and a shooter to boot. This guy will kick your ass for fun. Okay.
Oh my gosh, will he wrestle? I hope so.
No.
Well, he's not going to be wrestling at his age. I think he hung up his boots quite a while back. But I'd be scared to fucking tempt him, honestly. Brutal guy, absolute perfect mind for the business, perfect mind for AEW. More importantly, perfect mind for the revisioning of Ring of Honor.
Nice.
I think William Regal is about to play a huge part in the future of professional wrestling as a whole. And it's a big fucking deal.
All right.
I can't overstate it. It really is bigger than it sounds.
Nice.
I'm so thankful you're here to explain all this to us. I'm sure other people that might be new would appreciate this as well.
Yeah.
I was so shocked seeing him come out. Like, it did not feel real when I saw William Regal is all like, and then he came out and there's Mox and it's Brian. I was like, holy shit. Like, it's so good. I remember watching William Regal when I was like 11, 12, something like that, like really young. This guy's been around a long time. He knows his shit. He knows the business. And the only thing he can do is help improve the product.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know he's a big scout and he's a big talent guy and he knows how to do all that stuff. So that was my background on him. That's what I knew. But yeah, that's cool. Nice. We're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this whole Danielson Mox thing. It's going to be awesome, regardless of how it goes. I think it's a good way to push into the stories in AEW. So it's going to rock. So then after that, we had the Andrade, Isaiah, Hardy, Sammy, Sting, and Allen match. Now, here's the thing.
Chaos.
It was chaos. But listen, here's the thing. I read before this match happened, I read a couple of things on the internet, and they were basically pretty much shitting on this match. I watched this match, and I thought this match was fucking cool. I thought it was good, man. I thought Darby
I had a great time. This was so fun of a match to me.
Darby was kicking the fucking piss out of Andrade, like left and right, like ruthlessly. Sting goes through 3 fucking tables. How could you not say that this match was just average? And then I see that they liked the Thunder Rosa DMD match. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. I mean, I just didn't understand that because I thought that this match was really cool. This had a whole bunch of skilled fucking wrestlers doing what they do best. And it broke out into total chaos. And it was a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hey, is it me, Chris, or is Rafe cussing a lot more this episode?
No.
Okay. It's me then. Just say it's you.
I thought maybe I was. I mean, normally I feel like we save it till later on. And, like it normally picks up towards the end. However, this week had a lot to go through and we had a lot of shit to deal with. So I think we went straight to the fuckery right from the beginning.
Yeah, we were just there.
Is this Rafe's balls day?
Yes.
I mean, what is this?
I mean, I honestly was just wondering.
And I'm honestly wondering why are you fucking with me?
But back to the AHFO versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara. Rafe, I think you're absolutely right. I think a lot of people are hating on this for no reason.
Great.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If AEW is the reason that Sting gets put in a fucking wheelchair, I am going to riot. I am going to be the worst thing that could have happened to this company. I'm so worried about all the people that are like young in this company doing insane things with their bodies. Sting is 60, 62. Is that how old he is now?
Yeah.
And he's jumping off of fucking railings into fucking tables. What is happening? I thought this dude could barely walk 10 years ago.
No.
And now he's out here just fucking frolicking and jumping through shit. I don't understand. I can't do that. I can't go jump off of a railing that high up and go through a bunch of tables and hurt myself. I'd be fucking in a wheelchair right now.
I feel like
And
we need
this
to
cat-
check on him right now.
This cat he's out here ruling the world. And then you've got all these young guys that are, how are they not dead? What's happening?
I don't know, man.
This was the craziest fucking match. Isaiah Cassidy with the, woo! And Sammy Guevara is I'm pretty sure he's a robot.
That
Yeah,
Spanish fly off the tunnel was amazing.
Oh God, that was so brutal. There was
Yeah.
so many bad bumps on this pay-per-view, you guys. So many like brutal, awful, why are they doing this to themselves bumps? And that's from top to
Andrade's
bottom of
amazing.
the card, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the
And
only
Andrade was amazing.
Andrade was amazing.
Absolutely.
He was
Just
going
a
wild.
monster.
I loved
Oh.
this match.
This was a great match.
I don't know how anybody could shit on this at all.
Yeah,
No,
they did.
Wild
They
and
did.
fun.
It was wild and fun. Exactly. So then after that match, we got into the final match, the Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. Baby.
After a night of everybody getting the shit beat out of them, let's go to two more guys going to beat the shit out of each other.
Right? At this point, I got to say, this was a great match, but man, it was a lot to absorb. So my brain was about fried when we got to this match. As exciting
Well,
as
I mean,
they made it,
you've got hours and hours of wrestling, and then you put this thing on at the end?
Mhm. I know.
How does anybody have the energy? And nobody's got the gas left to be like, oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. No. What?
Oh, yeah.
And this was like a crazy fucking match.
It was.
Both
It was a
these
crazy
guys
match.
went balls to the walls.
They did.
Mm.
They did.
I
It was
can't
balls.
with this fucking company, man.
I know.
Everybody that has an AEW contract is like, yeah, I'll die tomorrow, sure. Oh, we can live? Yeah, I'll do that too.
Okay.
But can we do like a close to dying thing?
Right.
Just throw me through something heavy or important and maybe almost break my collarbone.
Right.
I don't like my body. I sort of I'd like to be a vegetable actually. Just cut me like an average working man's check and I'll do anything you say.
That's hilarious.
What world are we living in where
I don't-
everybody's just willing to just go out and risk their lives every single match?
I don't
It's
know.
bananas. It's crazy.
It
Thank
is.
you, AEW. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Yep, absolutely. And
It's a
on
good
that
mic
note,
drop moment there.
and we're dropping the mic on that. And until next week, we will talk to you all later. Peace.